Over the past 7 years, we've purchased a lot of products.
Ow!
And although some of them may have been a waste of money,
I think I'm gonna have to chalk this one up to just a fail when it comes to the RV.
there are a few right here that we'd buy again, and especially at these Primedale prices.
So whether you are a full-time RVer, weekend camper, or just dreaming of getting out there, this week is Prime Day week, guys. And so that means that there are a ton of specials out there. And Ben and I, literally, we have spent hours scouring the lists of what's going to be on sale and what we feel like is worth it. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you stay tuned until the end of this video, because there's a couple products that are on the list that I am super excited about, because these are the things that we use like literally every single week, and there's some big savings to be had. So let's jump in. First on the list is a product that is newer for us, and we are absolutely loving it. We've been using it now for a while, and that is from Camco. Now, this is a game changer for us, especially having more than one like sewer receptacle, unlike we had in the Class A. So a couple of things that we really like about this. Number one, you can move this around, and when you're moving it, it doesn't undo the bayonet fitting, unlike a lot of other products that are similar. The other thing is this actually does have like the rinser. So if you don't have a if you don't have a black tank flush, you can use this to back flush your black tank. Say that 5 times real fast. The other thing too is that this has a one-way valve where that black tank rinser is. So you don't have to worry about, oh crap, like what happens if water's coming out the other way? Nope, it's a one-way valve. And then the other thing is you've got this valve right here where you can pull the handle. You guys might have seen a few videos back before we put these on, and I undid the cap and there was an unpleasant surprise waiting. See, this is case in point, where I have a hard time with,
See, that's why I get those things to put on the end. Luckily, that's just water.
With the clear elbow, you don't have to worry about that unpleasantness. The other thing...
But just look, as you lift it up, just think about it too. Look what you just did. You created an angle where the poo or anything stays down there. You can lift it up to where when you open up the front cover, nothing's gonna come out of there no matter what. But then you can... I
wouldn't say no matter what. It would depend upon how much.
How much is in there.
But you're gonna know because you can see it. So we've got 2 of these now because we have 2 like sewage receptacles because of the way that our 5th wheel is set up. But on Prime Day sale, if you don't have one, trust us on this. We are loving this.
Is it sticking out past the RV or not?
No.
Yeah, see, it's not, which is nice.
Yes. Number 2 on the list, you guys, move this over here, is these Camco like sewer hose support ladder things. We absolutely love these versus the other kind of sewer support, because what we have found with this is it does give you a nice like long kind of line where your sewer hose is flowing in without like creating accidental little P-traps in between some of the other ladder type of sewer hose supports. So these are like different heights, so it's going to create your nice downhill slope, and they pack away nice and easy. They just stack together and you can put them in the RV nice and easy. The other thing is if you guys look right here, you've got these little marks. So these little marks basically tell you which ones are the higher ones, which are the lower ones, so that again, you're creating a nice downhill slope. All right, so next on the list, I wanna show you something new that we have been testing out, and this is the Giotto Power Station. Now, here's the deal. A lot of these battery banks say they can run everything, but then you plug in a power-hungry device and it trips. So this one, it's pushing 1800 watts of pure sine wave power with up to 2400 watts constant. So it's actually running real appliances without those drop-offs. Now, we've been running heavier stuff like a coffee maker, tea kettle, and it just holds steady, no surging, no shutdowns, and it's nice and quiet too, which is nice for using it inside of the RV. Now, a really cool feature is the charging speed. This thing goes from basically dead to 80% in like 40 minutes. So if you're trying to just get back on the road or recharge quick at a campground or something like that, you're not waiting around forever. And it's got a ton of outputs too. USB-C, wireless charging, all of it. So you can run your laptops, your phone, your cameras, pretty much everything at once without juggling adapters. And it can even act as a backup system. So for some reason, if power drops, your internet, your devices, all of those things, they don't even blink. And that is huge if you're working on the road like us, or just for home power backup during storms. It's also long-term built with Life PO4 batteries. So you're talking years of use, not just something that you're gonna have to think about replacing anytime soon at all. So we'll put a link below if you wanna check it out, but this is definitely one of those upgrades that actually makes RV life and travel a whole lot easier. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna need some gloves for, so let me grab my gloves. We're gonna glove up.
Like a glove?
You probably guess what this has to do with, but these are some of our favorite things. The next products we keep back here. Now we talked about this in another video, if I know how to use the key, because we don't want to keep anything that has to do with like our wastewater stuff in the same compartments as like our clean water stuff or anything else. And so Ben installed this, so it's all back here and it's separate. I'm just going to move this real fast.
What is that thing you're talking about that I installed?
Oh, this is a Morid storage box, but
under the stairs storage.
Right, but this
box.
is not on Prime Day. So anyway, this is what we're focusing on Prime Day. We're not going to get off track here. All right, so first up, if you are like us and you have more than one like waste tank, like receptacle pipey thing.
It's science.
This is really technical terms, you guys. We've been doing this for so long that we now talk the talk. Anyway, you want one of these, you need one of these so that you can run both of your sewage outlets into one to be able to dump your tanks when you need to dump your tanks and not have to like move this sewer hose from here and then to over there and all of that. It's a headache. You don't want to do that. So
the next one you connect right up to the Y.
We got that there. So this one connects up to the Y. Now remember, these are all things that are on Prime Day special. And so these are products from our friends over at Camco. Absolutely love the Camco products. Now here, Ben, is where
we got a tool.
You need the we need the
that.
tool because my hands are not the strong man hands.
That's all right. That's good enough. We're not hooking it up.
Anyway, y'all probably have experienced this if you have RV'd more than once, but that is a lot of campgrounds now require something called a donut, or you go to screw in and the threads are stripped in the pipe where you go to screw your thing in. And then here's the even more fun part. You go to let her rip and you pull the handle and all of a sudden you are like doing the little race over to the receptacle to make sure that it's staying on there and it doesn't pop off because of the pressure of the liquids coming through the pipe.
Not every campground has a brick nearby.
Yeah, this solves all those problems. And so this is locking. So when you put this into your sewer receptacle, you can just lock this down into place and you are not going to have any unpleasant surprises. And then again, you can see, make sure that, because here's the deal. You guys, you might think this is gross, especially if you're new. You're like, why would I want to see that? Let me tell you why you want to see that. Because when you are back flushing your black tanks, you want to make sure that then the water that's coming out at the very end is clear, which means that you have cleaned your tank sufficiently. So anyway, 2 products from our friends over at Camco on Prime Day sale. If you guys don't have these, you definitely want to pick them up for camping season. Next up on the list, you guys, you've probably heard the saying, if the RVs are rocking, it's just the washer dryer on the spin cycle.
That's the key.
But this right here, so we have been using this. We use this on our other RV, our 2019, that as of the recording of this is still for sale. But like, anyway, I guess there's a lot of inquiries on that. We'll put a link below just in case. If you see it and it says sold, well, too bad. But maybe you're going to be lucky.
You got your hand on a dirty ball there. There's actually lithium grease on there.
You are the worst. I hate looking at your face. I want to smash it.
Oh, this was a bad idea, you guys. Yeah. Anyway. Never mind the dirty hand now. This stabilizer, so what this does is it goes under your king pin or your pin box in the very front of your RV. It does help to provide a lot of extra stabilization. This is definitely something we absolutely love using. It's on sale for Prime Day, but here's the other thing too, is that it's not that expensive to begin with. And it's not super heavy. I know we've talked a little bit about weight. So in this, for us, we can just throw it in the bed of the truck. So super easy to set up, super easy to use, doesn't weigh a lot, not super expensive. It's a win-win.
Somebody was mentioning in the last video, like, how does that work with the Gen Y? Because the Gen Y has a torsion spring that actually lifts up and down to, you know, make it not as rough of a ride. But we did find that it does help when we have that plus the MORRIDE stabilizers on, you know, between the two.
Right.
It does help quite a bit.
I mean, like I said, we noticed a difference. We noticed a difference when we had it, and we noticed a difference when we didn't. And so I think that's always like the litmus test, right? If you can feel the difference when you don't have it, well, then you know it's working. All right, so next on the list, Prime Day sale, you guys. These are like Prime Day specials. These are the Blink cameras. And so we're using these not only for home security at the Glamper Hideaway, but we also use these for the RV. So these are ones that we had on our Class A. We took those off when we sold it, and then we're going to be putting them up on this one. We just haven't gotten around to it yet. But we absolutely love the Blink camera for home security and RV security. We actually have a Blink camera that we have on the inside of the RV too, so we can just see what's going on the inside. But Prime Day, always a great time to pick up these Blink cameras. Okay, the next thing that is on Prime Day sale, you guys, that we've been using for a ton of things around the RV. So this Wrap It storage wraps. So these are amazing because these are like Velcro. They have a lot of different options. So like you've got this one here with the handle. So this goes perfect around something like the Evo Flex 2 hose from Camco, which is also on Prime Day sale, by the way. Or like we've got this one here that we have got on our Blue Tech water hose. So this is just not like the handle type, but just the Velcro type. So you can use these. This one is one that just goes through like a buckle so that you can use this for different types of things as well. You've got this type of Wrap It here. Ben actually came up with kind of an off-label use for the Wrap It's a few minutes ago in our storage bay, like our wet bay area, to be able to hold up. Well,
Let's go check it out.
Maybe I should just show you. So he actually took the Wrap It, put a washer through, like these screws are the screws that were already there from the factory holding these boards in place. And so now we've got just like our hose sprayer that's up and out of the way. It's not falling around. We've got the cord here for the water shut off for the Blue Tech that is up and organized and out of the way. And these little Wrap It storage wraps, you guys, I'm telling you what, they're a game changer when it comes to RV organization, and they're on sale for Prime Day. Doesn't get any better than that. All right, next thing on the list on sale for Prime Day that we love is our Govee temperature sensor and hydrometer. So here's the deal, you guys. I know, I think I say here's the deal all the time. Maybe I should get a t-shirt that says here's the deal. Let me know if you'd want one, but here is the deal. When you're in an RV, humidity is important because RVs are just not very well insulated. And so you kind of want to know what the humidity level is, but you also sometimes want to know what the temperature is. Case in point, where we actually first started using this was with our RV fridge. We were having trouble with our fridge staying at temp, and the last thing you want to do if you're struggling with your fridge staying at temp is open the doors and all of that cold air comes out. So this is wireless and Bluetooth, so you can say put this in an RV fridge and check the temp remotely. You could put this in different compartments. We had this in our battery compartment for a little while because we wanted to make sure that we weren't having an issue with any heat in our battery area, so this can go in there. Most recently, we have used this in the attic at the Glamper Hideaway to monitor temperature and humidity in there. So lots of different uses for this, but especially when it comes to RVing, it's nice to be able to remotely monitor what the temperature and the humidity is inside of the RV, and it's on sale for Prime Day. The next must for us is this E-Tech City laser temperature gun. Now, we first got this when we had our Class A and we were actually having some issues with the engine running hot, and we wanted to make sure that what we were seeing on our temperature gauge was what was really happening. And so if we wanted to check that, we would just actually use this and go and we'd point it at the engine and see what the engine temp was. Since then, we have found a lot of different uses for this around the RV. So most recently with our other fifth wheel, when we wanted to make sure that the trailer brakes were actually working, and we did, lo and behold, find out that one of the brakes on one of the axles was not working. And Ben actually was able to trace that out to some broken wiring and got it fixed. But we use this to determine that. So we use this to check the temperature on those brake drums to determine, okay, that one's warm, this one's not at all. Obviously something's going on. But this comes in really handy. You could check the temperature of the air that's coming out of your AC vents if you're concerned about that it's not what it should be. The other thing, off-label use that we've kind of used this for at the Glamper Hideaway is we have a pool, and so we've actually used this to point at the water to check the water temp before jumping in, just so you know what to expect. So,
and the Uni pizza oven, so if you want to see if it's up to 800 degrees, it'll go up that high.
So anyway, lots of uses for this around the RV, around the house. It's just kind of one of the staples that we have now in our little RV toolkit, and it's on sale for Prime Day. Next thing that is on Prime Day sale that we absolutely love for RVing is a headlamp. So we actually have a couple of different headlamps that we keep, one inside the RV, one in our storage compartments. A headlamp's one of those things where if you need to get out of the RV in the middle of the night, maybe we need to take Evie to the bathroom, maybe you need to check on your water connection, sewer connection, electrical connection. You want to be able to see where you're going. It's also really handy too if for some reason you need to get under the hood of a car, get under a car, get underneath of something, and be able to see what you're working on and not have to hold the flashlight while you're working on it. So we'll have a link in the description below. The Energizer brand is the one that's on Prime Day sale, so check it out below. Okay, so the next thing you guys probably know, we've talked about this in a lot of videos. If you're new here, then you probably don't, but that is a dash cam. And so we have dash cams in all of our vehicles. We started using a dash cam in our drivable motorhome several years ago after a very close call. It was not our fault, by the way. So the Red Tiger dash cam is on sale for Prime Day. Now this one, the Red Tiger, is the one that I use in my minivan, my mom mobile, when we are not traveling. And it's more of a basic model. It doesn't have some of the extra features of like the ones that we use in the truck. But if you're just looking for something super basic, entry level, that will at least capture the driving footage in case that you are in an accident or something happens and you want to be protected, it does the job. So link in the description below on that. All right, two chairs that are on sale for Prime Day. The GCI, which we absolutely love. And then you've also got this really basic Coleman jobby here. Now here's the funny thing. This Coleman chair here, you guys, we've had this chair for probably 6 or 7 years. Now I personally prefer this, and I'll tell you why. I feel like where this sits on my legs is a little bit more comfortable than the GCI, and I'll show you why in just a minute. This is one of those things really on chairs, really kind of to each their own. So that's why, you know, we're trying to show you a couple different options here because Ben does like the GCI. One thing about the Coleman chair that I do like is you got your little cup holder. GCI's got one, but I'll show you. But the other thing is you've got like more mesh pockets here. So like if I want to throw my phone down here, or a charging bank or something like that, I can do that. And then it's got this little like cooler jobby here. So a lot of times I will put like my water bottle or whatever right in here. So you get your chair, but then you also kind of can have all of your things at the same time. Okay, now on the GCI chair, now this one, you know, you've got the rocking motion. So that's kind of nice, you know, if you're more of a rocker or whatever. But what I find on this chair where I'm not as much of a fan as I like my Coleman chair is that the fabric right here on the seat is kind of stretched tighter. And so I just kind of find that after time, it sort of cuts off circulation on my legs. So that's just a personal preference or whatever. It is still nice. They work nice. They're great. They have the rocking. So if you like the rocking, excellent, then definitely the GCI is probably the way to go. And then you still have your little cup holder here, but it's not as big or stretchy is I think like the Coleman one is. And so you've got to make sure that whatever you're putting in here is not, you know, too big or else it won't fit. So another thing on sale for Prime Day is a first aid kit. Now, I think it's important to have a first aid kit. We have one in the RV. I have this one that I keep in my mom minivan. We've got one in the truck. It's just good to be able to have kind of some of these things on hand, especially if you have like younger people, right? Teenagers, kids, things like that in your family too. I like these ones where you've got like ibuprofen with you, you've got bandages with you, you've got basically the basic stuff that you need for, you know, most of the little things that you might encounter while you're out there camping or traveling. Okay, so another product that is on sale for Prime Day in our research is the FXW dog fence. Now, we actually had one of these and we did use it from time to time when we had Alaska. We don't use it so much with Evie anymore just because our camping pace is like picked up a little bit where we're just not in one spot for very long. But especially if you have smaller dogs or even if you have kiddos, you guys, the FXW dog fencing is really great, super easy to put up, take down, travel with you on the road, and it is on sale. So one thing I always like to mention when we start talking about summer sales and Prime Day and all of those things, 4th of July is coming up, RV Mattress. So RV Mattress is one of our business partners and sponsors, and we have loved working with them for several years now just because we truly love their products and we get a great night's sleep. So I do want to make sure that you guys have on your radar this summer, check them out. You can save 30% off with our code specifically. So you can head over to rvmattress.com/grateful. Use our code GRATEFUL to save 30%. Limited lifetime warranty, 120-night sleep trial, and they're really easy to get in an RV because they come shipped rolled in a box. So check them out. So we have one here, and we've got some here, and here, and here, and here, and here.
And looky here, we've got one right here.
And here. And here. So one of the things that is on sale for Prime Day, you guys, is some of the Command products. So like these Command hooks here, we absolutely love Command hooks in the RV. I've got the Command shelves next to my bed to be able to put my phone and stuff like that on. There's so many Command products that are out there that are helpful for RV life, just like renter friendly if you can't put holes in the wall, but you want to hang something up. And so that has been just kind of a staple for us over the years when it comes to RV living are these types of things here. And when they're on sale for Prime Day, it's the perfect time to stock up. I feel like I look really awkward. Okay, so one thing that we have really liked for RVing is having a countertop ice maker. So some RV fridges will come with ice makers, a lot of them don't. The very first Class A we had, it had one in it. And we actually ended up taking it out because it took so much of the freezer space. And so having a countertop ice maker like this one, this particular brand is discontinued. So I've got a link below to one that's on sale that is available for Prime Day. But we just really enjoy it, kind of one of those little luxuries that we enjoy having on the road. So next thing for Prime Day. Now I call this my RV size Instant Pot. So I do have one of the more full-size Instant Pots that I use in the Glamper Hideaway. I love the Instant Pot for many reasons, but one of the things I use this in the RV for cooking all of the time is for things like rice. I will actually use the saute option on this to do things like ground beef, ground turkey for different types of sauces or taco meat or things like that. And we use this a lot to do like hard-boiled eggs. The other thing is when we were down in the Keys in March with friends, we did a little St. Patrick's Day celebration and we cooked a corned beef in this jobby right here. So love having this one that's a little bit smaller scale, a little bit lighter weight for the RV, since most times I'm cooking for just the 4 of us. I don't need the big one like I do in the Hideaway. The next thing that I've got linked for you below is a collapsible bucket. So this is the one that we have. I don't know if you hear the dog barking. This is the one we have here in the RV. We've had this collapsible bucket for probably easily 6 years now. There's so many times when maybe you want something like this. So use case number 1, when we were on RV Unplugged and we had to conserve water, I actually use this bucket to catch the water out of the shower till it got hot. And then I use this water to do things like do dishes maybe, and then flush the toilet. So many things that a collapsible bucket can come in handy for when it comes to RVing. And then the thing is it collapses down, if I can do it right, collapses down so that you can store it away. So like this one here, I keep under the sink. Oh, another use case for a collapsible bucket is if you do have to do any sort of plumbing repair, you're gonna want a bucket to catch any water that's in the pipes. So something that is nice to have on hand, especially when they're as cheap as they are right now. So the next thing I wanted to show you that is on sale for Prime Day, and Evie's gonna help me. Evie, come here. Let's show them what you've got here. Yes. So that is, we actually did this with Alaska. So it is a dog collar, but inside of this dog collar, we have an air tag. So
Hope she's gonna go run away right now.
God forbid that Evie would decide to go on her own little adventure.
Which she is, she's got some wanderlust in her.
We all do. She's got some
in her
too.
blood.
Anyway, so we've got this little dog collar. It's got our, phone number. Don't show the phone number. And everything on it. But you can see back behind here, you can put an air tag in it, and then that way we can see her on our devices, on our phones, should she decide to have a little adventure of her own. So dog collar with an air tag, linked below. Okay, so I told you guys that I was so excited, saving the best for last here, but what we have got is so unique. Camping and Marine has got their product on sale for Prime Day. So this is the stick pack of the Scrub It. Now, I absolutely love this. A couple of things that you absolutely need to know when you're an RVer. So it is very important what you clean your toilet with. You do not want to use cleaners that are the traditional cleaners that are going to kill bacteria, things that have bleach in them. It's gonna make your black tank smell worse. And summer's coming, you guys, and in the heat, you wanna make sure that you keep that black tank in a healthy state as possible. So the Scrub It stick packs, this is toilet cleaner that is not going to mess up any of the bacteria or anything like that that you want in your tank. So really super easy. You just open it up, and then we're gonna add some water here into our toilet. If I can balance and put the foot pedal at the same time. So we're just gonna put this in. So we're gonna put this in, a little scrubby, and then you can see it actually starts to foam up really nice. Now here's the other thing that is on sale, you guys. Silicone tipped toilet brush. Super, super important so that you do not damage your RV seals. So you want to use this, you've got your seal that is on your little toilet flangey thing. Don't want to mess that up. Hence we're using the silicone tipped toilet brush. Keeps our toilet nice and clean. And then down the hatch we go with the cleaner, and we're not gonna have any issues with our black tank either as well. So, and then I always
rinse the brush off too.
Yep, I always like to put a little bit of water in there. Little layer of water is good. It's always a good
in there.
Vapor barrier. Yep, nice and compact. And there you have it. So link in the description below for both of those products and a few more products from our friends over at Unique for Prime Day.
Over the past 7 years, we've purchased a lot of
You can't say that. Like seriously, you can't.
Clippers.
So one thing I always do want to mention.
Don't let it touch the hose. You kind of sounded like a
Southern hick.
Southern hick. Nobody's peeing over there.
Nobody's peeing over there.
It's just
some
the
rain.
AC.
On sale for Prime Day. Hold on. One of my children is calling. This Y, it's called a Y. Why is it called a Y?
I just called him and he didn't answer.
Oh, well then don't worry about it. I mean, just keep going. You do you, boo.
No.
It is. It's called the Rhino.
Rhino,
It has a whole name that answers that.
Why not?
Why not?
Black tank back flush.
We have done a video on 100 different products that we have They're all available on Amazon. So you probably want to check that out. There could be other ones that are on sale, and you can check that video out right up here.